equations. Literal equations. Literal equations are equations that have more than one variable in them. Let's look at an example. Bx equals a is a literal equation because all b is a variable, x is a variable, and a is a variable. To solve this, we decide which one we're going to solve for. In this case, we're solving for x. So then that makes b the coefficient of x. So to get rid of the coefficient of x, we have to divide both sides by b. The b's divide out on the left side, and you're left with x. And on the right side, you can't simplify, so the answer, we're left with a over b. We started with bx equal a. We said we were going to solve for x. So b becomes the coefficient of x. So we divide both sides of this equation by b. The b's on the left side divide out. We're left with x, and on the right side, a over b. Let's look at this same equation. And this time, let's solve it for b. Now, x is the coefficient of b, so we're going to divide both sides by x. X is divide out, and b is equal to a over x. So the term that gets divided out is the one that is the coefficient of the variable that you are solving for. So let's look at another example. This time, let's look at mx plus k equals 6. And we're going to solve this for m. This time we're going to solve for m. So m then has a coefficient of x. So we say, what's being done to the m term? Well, k is being added. So to get rid of that, we're going to subtract k from both sides of the equation. That gives us 0. Those add out. And then, so what do we have left on the right side? M x. And on the left side, we have 6 minus k. What's the coefficient of m? X. So we're going to divide both sides by x. X is divide out. And m is equal to 6 minus k over x. Okay, let's look at one more example that's a little bit more complicated. 3x over y equal 2c over 4d. Okay, let's solve for d this time. We're going to solve for d. And the d needs to be in the numerator of an expression. So to get it in the numerator, we're going to multiply both sides of this equation by 4d. The reason we're doing this is because we want the d term in the numerator. And this is the easiest way to get it there. So then it divides out on the right side. And on the left side, we're multiplying, so we've got 12 dx over y. Because you have to multiply 4 times 3, so that gives you the 12 dx over y. and that's left, and we're left with 2c on the right side. Now, d is in the numerator now, so then we need to get rid of the 12, the x, and the y. So if we multiply times y, that'll give us 12 dx, because these divide out, equal to 2cy. Now, what's the coefficient of d? 12x. So we're going to divide both sides by 12x. So the 12's divide out, the x's divide out, and we're left with d. Now, on the right side, oops, this should be a 2. We've got a common factor of 2 that we can divide out. So 2 goes into 2 one time, 2 goes into 12 6 times. So what do we have left? We've got cy over 6x. So if we go back up to the top of this, we started with 3x over y equal to 2c over 4d, and we said we needed the d in the numerator, so then we multiplied both sides by 4d because the d is in the denominator over here, and that gave us 12 dx equal to 2c. And then we needed to get rid of this y, so we multiplied both sides of the equation by y, and that left us with 12 dx equal to 2cy. Now, the coefficient of d is 12 and x, 12x. So we said, okay, divide both sides by 12x. 12's divide out, x's divide out on the left side, and on the right side, we can divide 2 and 12 by 2, so 2 goes into 2 one time, 2 goes into 12 6 times. That's the only thing we can divide out. So then we say we've got d left on the left side, and on the right side, what do we have left? cy over 6x.